Standing by, Mark.
Jackie, thanks so much. It's great to be back here. We're at the in between games, our tailgate party right now as we get ready for the boys to take center stage, Miller Grove and Southwest Dekalb. Alongside now is Lindsey Harding of the Atlanta Dream. And Lindsey, what goes through your mind as a professional WNBA player for the Atlanta Dream as you watch the high school players play? You must have fond memories of your prep career.
I do. I wasn't lucky enough to even play for state or win a championship, so definitely that feeling that they're having right now is exciting. I know a lot of them want to continue going on playing in college, hopefully professionally to the WNBA, so it's great to watch them play.
You know, I've always said if you could bottle that enthusiasm, you could light up the world. Those girls are very excited.
They're so excited. There's a reason to be excited. I mean, I'm telling them they're so lucky. I see the team that didn't win and they had their heads down. I'm like, I didn't even make it to state. And to represent your school, your city, your family, I mean, it's a great opportunity for them.
Now, you may not have made it to state, but you made it to the WNBA championship game the last couple of years. Talk about the dream and the prospects for this season.
Well, you know, going into our 5th season, we have gone to 2 Eastern Conference championships, to the finals. We definitely want to win. We have the experience to do that. We have great people coming in, and hopefully this year we can get over that hump and bring a championship to Atlanta.
How hungry are you ladies? Because obviously getting to the championship game, your Super Bowl 2 years in a row, you want to get that one more victory. You want to get that championship trophy for Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a bit frustrating at times, but like I said, another year together gives you that experience, gives you that confidence, and of knowing what we need to do to win, and also bringing people in. So I know we're excited.
You know, you watch girls high school basketball. Talk about it from your perspective, because from the high school level, you know, to the WNBA, that's the dream of a lot of these young girls out here.
I remember when I was in high school, I didn't think I could play in the WNBA. It was definitely a goal of mine, but my first goal was to try to play in college. So hopefully that's what they're doing, and they're definitely on the right track right now.
What impresses you most about Georgia high school girls basketball?
That they play so hard and with so much passion. That's exactly it. They play with so much passion, and it's incredible.
Well, Lindsey, one thing, how good do you think the Dream will be this year?
Planning to go all the way, planning to win a championship and go all the way.
Well, listen, thanks so much for coming on our tailgate party, and good luck. We'll see you tomorrow in Macon, I understand.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be there. Thank
all
you.
right, fantastic. All right, time now to check in with Jackie Britton, who has a special assignment going on. Jackie?
Thank you, Mark. Now, while GPB serves as your home court for sports coverage, there's also a lot that goes on behind the camera as well as in front of the camera. So let's take a look.
A program service of the State Department of Education.
The GPB of today is a far cry from its humble beginnings when, during the 1960s and 70s, educational content was produced and distributed primarily to schools. Since the early 1980s, GPB has been a PBS member station. We bring you renowned kids programming from Sesame Street to Curious George and Clifford, as well as Nova, Nature, American Experience, Masterpiece, the full array of quality programming that has led to PBS becoming the most trusted media outlet in America.
Adding a state-of-the-art headquarters in Midtown Atlanta in 1998, GPB moved into the 21st century, ready to expand its influence in Georgia's growing film industry. Equipped with a full array of HD studios, GPB has the opportunity to produce our own shows, as well as lease our studio space to outside productions.
So, John, how does GPB Sports fit in?
GPB Sports is a full-scale sports production company with a staff dedicated to producing the best, most comprehensive coverage of high school sports in Georgia.
Bar none.
Not only your primary provider of GHSA championships, GPB Sports also exclusively broadcasts some of the biggest football games in the state every Friday night, all season long.
GPB has come a long way in the last 50 years, and while we've grown and progressed, a few things about us remain true. First, we're always dedicated to providing high-quality programs that educate, inform, and entertain our audiences and enrich the quality of their lives. And finally, we've come this far primarily through the generous support of you, our viewers. Thanks again for watching, and thanks so much for your support.
Tailgate party continues right now. Alongside is the executive director of the GHSA, Dr. Ralph Swearingen. Doc, thanks for coming on again.
Oh, it's always my pleasure, Mark.
Hey, talk a little bit about the championship weekend here on GPB. We've had the wheelchair competition, which we can see tomorrow, and also we've had the first girls championship, the 4A.
We're off to a great start. overtime wheelchair basketball game. That was great. Just saw a really, really nice, talented pair of teams playing for the Quad A Girls Championship. We expect to continue the rest of the day and on into tomorrow.
Down in Macon, where the single, double, and AAA players will take charge.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll shift just a little bit of gear and talk a little bit about what's going on in the GHSA. First of all, realignment came. You're going to have 6 divisions next year, so to speak. Talk about how that decision came about.
Yeah, we are going to go from 5 to 6. The thought was that it just 5 was creating some problems with a lot of schools bunched in the middle, and this would allow them to be able to spread out. Also, you got to remember when we went to 5 in 2000, we had about 380-some schools. Now we have 440. So in the last decade, we've grown a whole new classification.
Now, another thing that happened since we last talked to you was the fact that I guess in single A, there'll be 2 different champions, a public school and a private school.
In many sports, there will be. In a few sports, there will not be because we just simply do not have enough schools to participate in those sports. But in most of the sports that are heavily participated in, yeah, there will be separate public and private school championships.
As you look at the basketball championships, what are some of the things that come to mind right off the top of your head that the fans can enjoy that come out here?
Well, I tell you, the great athleticism, just astounded at what boys and girls can do these days. Body control, they're stronger, they're faster, they leap higher. The coaching is great. We have just really, really have great coaching. It's just a wonderful atmosphere. There's very few things that compare to a basketball tournament, that one-and-done concept.
You know, Georgia is known as a football state, but there's an awful lot of basketball talent here.
A tremendous amount of talent, as a lot of the NCAA rosters around the country have demonstrated. So yes, back when I came to this state in the 1970s, people used to laugh and say basketball is what you did between football and spring football. That's not true anymore.
Well, Dr. Swearingen, thanks so much for coming on with us. We'll see you tomorrow in Macon.
Thank you for your work, Mark.
All right. Now, coming up at halftime of the boys 5A game, we have a very, very special event going on. It is a slam dunk exhibition, the AJC GPB Exhibition Slam Dunk Contest, and Jackie Britton's going to have more on that, right, Jackie?
Yes, I do, Mark. You know, after a while, all slam dunks seem to look the same until someone raises the bar, adding a cool trick here and another one there. And you may think that you've seen it all from the pros in the NBA, but some of these high school athletes really give the stars a run for their money. You'll be able to see some of Georgia's finest dunkers later on this afternoon. But first, let's take a preview of a couple of those all-stars. What really makes a slam dunk a slam dunk? Is it the style, the speed, or the overall movement that propels a player into the air with a powerful surge, ending with the ball in the hoop and the crowd on their feet? Anything you've seen in the NBA, you'll see in these contestants of the AJC Dunk Contest. Entries started coming in when an AJC writer introduced the dunk contest through his blog. With the help of the fans, the AJC was able to narrow down the top 10, then 5, and then the final 3. Those top 3 proved to be the best of the best. Shaq Goodwin, a senior at Southwest Dekalb, who signed with the University of Memphis. At 6'8", not much stops him from a little 3-on-1 before finishing with an elbow dunk. And how about Dawson Womack from North Cobb Christian? Another power forward soars over another person before slamming one in. And finally, Chris Bolden, a senior at North Gwinnett High, who's committed to Georgia Tech, doesn't have any additional tricks, just a traditional slam dunk. After weeks of voting, the winner isn't left up to a panel of judges, but to the fans. Each fan can vote once every hour. And whether you like the winner or not, no one can deny that a slam dunk is one of those things that always seems to stun the crowd. And the winner, of course, was Shaq Goodwin from Southwest Dekalb High School, who will be out here on the court in just a little bit. So, phenomenal athlete. Really great slam dunks on there.
All right, coming up at the halftime of the boys 5A championship game. Coming up, we're getting ready for the boys 4A championship game between Miller Grove and Southwest Dekalb. More on that when we come back as the GPB tailgate party continues. Stay with us.
We are Team Continuum.
Team 6.
Team Thrombosis.
Team Heartthrob.
Fincher Prize because
We believe everybody needs it.
our product saves lives.
It was as if they were invisible. It was as if their remarkable accomplishments didn't matter. It was as if they were ghosts. During the last years of Jim Crow, some of Georgia's greatest athletes performed on a separate but not equal playing field. NBA great, Walt Frazier.
I remember we used to eat at some certain people's houses that would serve us food because obviously we couldn't go to the restaurants.
Help us bring this previously untold story out of the shadows, the great athletes and coaches who blazed the trail.
And a lot of those guys were good men. I mean, they did a lot in the neighborhood, they gave back. So they really set a good example for me.
To find out how you can champion this project, please go to gpb.org/ghost.
Welcome back to Chance of a Lifetime. It's the final stage of the game, and it's also time for Jane to choose a door. Help her out. What door should she pick? All right, so Jane, which door did you choose?
I think I'm going to go with door number 2.
Door number... Oh, wait a minute. It looks like it says right here that you never graduated high school, so none of these doors are available to you. That's it for Chance of a Lifetime. We'll see you next time.
Welcome back to Championship Weekend here on Georgia Public Broadcasting. We are getting ready for the 4A Boys Championship game between Miller Grove and Southwest Dekalb, live on GPB.
He's going coast to coast. Clear the runway. He's coming in. It's a helicopter slam jam. He's going to pull up from 3. Yeah, watch this guy go. Triple drive, backs it in, and gets it.
We welcome you to Game 2 of Championship Weekend here on the great GPB. This is Gil Tyree along with my partner in crime, Herb White, and we had a great matchup here today. As you see, Southwest Dekalb taking on Miller Grove. We saw the girls, now we'll see the boys, and of course we got a great basketball game here today. Herb, I want to ask you this. When you take a look at both of these basketball teams, you know, their big men are the ones that dominate it, and you got two great big men here.
Yeah, you got two great big guys. Tony Parker, of course, 6'9", about 275, maybe the top big man in the country, a lot of people say. He's primarily an inside player, but he does have he's developed a nice little 15, 16 foot jump shot, so that's given him an extra dimension, Gil.
And on the other side, you got William Shaq Goodwin, and of course, he'll go to the University of Memphis with Josh Pashner. And there you see the big fella also plays football. We had him here on GPB when Buck Gottfried had him on the football team and they took on Marist. But what a target.
Well, he's going to feel like he's playing a little football bouncing up there against Tony Parker. But Shaq doesn't mind that. And he's also our slam dunk champion, I believe. Shaq can get up in the air, plays a little more out on the court than Tony does. So he can present some problems for Tony Parker as well.
You know, when we talk about it, and you're a historian, and of course, Herb White, nobody knows high school basketball in the great state of Georgia than this gentleman. You got to go back really to Dwight Howard and Randolph Morris when you had two kids. Of course, Randolph Morris went to Landmark Christian, and Dwight Howard went to Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy. Right. Two profile guys, and of course, Dwight Howard went directly from high school to the NBA. If he had selected a college, it would have been the University of North Carolina. Randolph Morris went on to play for Tubby Smith up in Kentucky.
Right. Those guys never met in a state championship game, though. I think the only game they really played against each other was primarily just an exhibition almost match that they put on television. So this one's for all the marbles.
All right, the route to get here to the championship game. First, you see Miller Grove, and of course they're going for an unprecedented 4th consecutive state championship in 3 other schools. They will join that group, and you see how they got here. Of course, Manchester, Loganville, Marist, and then Jonesboro. They annihilated them here on Wednesday night by the count of 70-49, and Tony Parker had 30 points and just dominated things. On the other side, Southwest Dekalb, and the route they've taken over Osborne, Cedar Shoals, Chattahoochee, and then North Clayton, a 7-point victory over them on Wednesday night, 74-67. So, like I said, the route is here, and of course the boys and the girls also crowned champions here in Miller Grove has won the championship tonight for the girls. Now let's check in with the third member of our crew here today, Lindsay Theory. Lindsay, it's all yours.
Hi, Gil. Thanks. Well, it's almost deja vu here on the basketball court. Now, just a little bit ago, we saw Southwest Dekalb and Miller Grove girls. Now it's obviously the guys. Now, Southwest Dekalb head coach Dwayne McKinney says not only we're going to see superb athletes, we're going to see some superb kids out here. He says he has no egos on his team, and his big star Shaq, he loves basketball so much that he would even go play a pickup game with 10-year-olds. That's how much his kids love the game, and hopefully it comes through with how they play today, guys.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. Tip-off is straight ahead here on the great GPB. The 4A state title. Will it be Miller Grove, or will it be that gentleman? Shaq Goodwin leading the Southwest Dekalb Panthers to a title. We'll be right back.
GPB's broadcast of high school championship basketball is made possible in part by supporters of the Georgia High School Association, including the following.
More heart.
More drive. More will.
More guts.
More sweat.
More dedication.
More practice. More control.
More clutch.
More hard work.
More fun.
More family.
More love.
More basketball.
Baseball.
College tennis.
More every day.
More everything. More
to come.
More Wilson.
The Basketball High School Championships on GPB are made possible in part by the Georgia High School Association, which thanks Georgia Farm Bureau for their support.
Through its many programs, the Georgia High School Association is training tomorrow's leaders. At Georgia Farm Bureau, we also promote leadership development programs. Farm Bureau serves its members through a host of services, from insurance to health care to popular discount programs, delivered through your local Farm Bureau office.
Farm Bureau, benefiting your community and state. Helping you is what we do best.
When you wish upon a star, make no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come.
Class 2A state championship. Where are you going?
I'm going back to high school.
Your dreams come.
PBS celebrates the legends of classic country.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
And gonna make my brown eyes blue.
Please help me, I'm falling.
Monday at 7:30 on GPB.
Day-to-night basketball here at the Gwinnett Center. The arena, the Gwinnett Center in Duluth, and of course the starting lineups here tonight. First, let's take a look at the Wolverines of Miller Grove, and of course they're led by their all-world center. Okay, he'll go center forward sometime, Tony Parker, and of course being looked at by a lot of teams, college teams right now. Brandon Morris, you see Tony Evans, Justin Colvin, and Kristen Houston, and the coach, the dapper, and always sharp-dressed Sharman White. And, of course, Sharman's done an outstanding job. You see his numbers, his 8th season at Miller Grove, and getting it done. On the other side, we take a look at Southwest Dekalb. Jordan Price, and you see Shaq Goodwin, they're 6'10 sophomore, and Kadarius Turner and Justin Holloman and Ravion Bell, who at 6'10 and gets it done. And you see center, guard center, and also the forwards, and they like to run pretty much a 3-guard offense and pretty much through. And what a job Coach McKinney has done at Southwest Dekalb. An outstanding job. Dwayne McKinney in his 2nd season, 45-13, his numbers on his career right now.
Those are some tall starting lineups. Everybody's 6'10 on both teams, but we'll just get past that and say, you're right, Coach McKinney, 2 years, got him to the playoffs his first year. Now he's got him in the state championship game, and as everybody knows, these teams have played 3 times this year. Miller Grove's come out on top each time, but it's been a 2-possession game or less for the final score, so you can throw those out because it's a state championship.
Exactly, and that's what I talked to Sharman White about that. I said, you know, the fact that you've defeated Southwest Dekalb 3 times, does that give you an advantage? He said, no, Gil. He just reiterated what you just said, Herb, that this is for all the marbles. You throw those 3 out the window, and basically, you know, it's an opportunity for Southwest Dekalb to get it done, and that's what Miller Grove is concerned about here this afternoon.
Right, and we talked about the two big guys, but of course, Miller Grove's got some other great players. Brandon Morris, 6'8". He can play out on the floor. He's a great passer. I think he actually is the key for Miller Grove. He creates so many things with his penetration and dishing, and then they've also got Tony Evans, another 6'6" inside and outside player. He's going to major college. And then you've got Jordan Price playing along with Shaq Goodwin, who's going to Auburn, who's an excellent, excellent offensive player. So a lot of talent in this ball game.
We welcome you to GPB's live and exclusive coverage of the championships, championship weekend. And, of course, we had an opportunity to see the 4A state champion girls being crowned, the first of 4 here tonight. And always great to have you alongside her. We had an opportunity to work last year together and kind of trading places with Mark Harmon this year.
My favorite time of the year, Gil, no doubt about it. High school basketball. I can remember my state championship game like it was yesterday, and our 3 talented officials for tonight's game, Charles Dunn, Gene Sherry, and Dwayne Gribble will be calling the action.
All right, the tip is controlled by Southwest Dekalb. And bringing it across the timeline right now is Kadarius Turner.
The Wolverines open man-to-man. They'll change defenses when they have to.
On the right side, negotiating up and in on off glass is Jordan Price. And the Panthers take a 2-0 lead early on here.
Nice job by Tony Parker maintaining his position. Didn't foul. Knew it was going to be 2.
Kristen Houston over to Morris on the right side. Bounce pass down low and negotiating. And that's Tony Evans still moving and gets it up and in. And just like that, we're tied at 2. Southwest Dekalb and Miller Grove for the championship and 4A here in the great state of Georgia. Gil Tyree and Herb White here on GPB today. A long 3. Calls glass, and he gets it. And that's Jordan Price.
We'll make Jordan call those from now on, though, Gil. That's you can bank them from out there. You got to call them.
A 5-2 count. Under 7 minutes to go early on.
2-3 zone.
There you go. Picked it up right there. The entry pass and looking low, spinning, and that's on the baseline. And a 10-footer by Tony Parker to go.
Well,
5-4 now.
Kadarius Turner was actually man-to-man. It may be a boxing 1 on the Kadarius Turner playing man-to-man. We'll have to check that out.
That's Turner. The post. Goodwin struggles with it. Still struggles with it. Under attack, regains it. Still with it. Triple team, drives the baseline and blocked and out of bounds. And great coverage by Tony Parker. There you see the most ballyhooed matchup between the two big fellas. And Parker stayed right with him.
Our slam dunk champion was looking to throw one down there, but Tony Parker wasn't going to have it, Gil.
Southwest Dekalb regains control. That's on the inbounds. And drive in the middle and putting up a jump hook to go is Jordan Price. 7-4. The Panthers up by 3. Morris across the timeline for Miller Grove.
And we do have that boxing 1. Kadarius Turner is playing Christian Houston 1-on-1, and the rest are playing that boxing zone. So a jump defense right off the bat for Southwest. Interesting.
It's Justin Colvin. Goes to the post and gets it back out. Shoots a 3 air ball. And the ball is controlled by Morris. Spins, goes in the lane, up glass, no good, and we have a whistle.
Couldn't see who that foul was on, but if we can get that ISO where you can see way over in the corner of your screen, Christian Houston is just staying completely out of the offensive set. And Kadarius Turner and he are just out there side by side.
Brandon Morris, who's headed to the University of Georgia at the line, first of 2. That one goes. 7-5 now. 5:44 in the opening period here.
Well, you usually see an exotic defense. They'll use it on a great offensive player to try to take him out of his game. But they're trying to upset Miller Grove's offense by man-to-manning Christian Houston.
Morris negotiates the first 2 free throws, and that'll make it a 7-6 ball game. Turner working against Houston. On the right side to Price. Against. Drives past Morris, and we have a whistle. And Price was able to go baseline, Herb, against Morris.
Well, Price can do a little bit of everything on offense. You saw the teardrop drive a moment ago. He took the baseline early on. He's also got a nice jump shot. That's why you have to play him tight, and he can go around you.
The foul on Morris, his first on the afternoon. Missed free throw number 1. by Price. He'll try to do it again. 7-6 early on. The Panthers over Miller Grove. And you saw Shaq Goodwin and Tony Evans get tied up. And both are being warned by the officiating crew. Colvin will bring it up across the timeline. Like Herb said, Southwest DeKalb in that junk defense right now. Zone, they look for Parker in the middle, and they throw it away. Turnover.
Well, it's working. Southwest DeKalb, they've got Miller Grove not used to having somebody else run the offense. Christian Houston's usually the guy that's running the offense, and Justin Colvin out there now trying to run it and made the bad pass.
Darius Turner on the right side to Price, spots up for a 3-ball. Air ball, no good. Saved inbounds by Justin Holloman. It was out of bounds, so Miller Grove will retain possession. You get a look at Sharman White. What an outstanding job he's done. We can't talk about it enough. Looking good with that shark skin gray suit.
Well, only
standing out.
Two other teams have won 4 championships in a row, which Miller Grove is trying to do tonight.
Making history.
Yeah, unbelievable history if they can pull that off. Westover from Albany did it 1990 through 93, and Lanier way back in 1925 through 28.
Colvin will walk it up. Played by Price at the head of the horn. Looking for the entry pass, goes down to Evans, who goes to Morris, back to Colvin. Out of three-point land. They look down low to Parker, negotiating, jump up, count it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Tony Parker.
That's sweet. Let that one go from about a foot over the hoop.
8-all. 4:29 in the opening quarter here. Gil Tyree, Herb White, glad to have you with us here on championship weekend. The first of 4 here on the great GPB. Turner driving over on the right side. Passes over there. Looking for a man. And that's Colvin. Spinning around now. Out top to Price.
Miller Grove really extending that defense man to man. They're picking him up and playing
Price
tight.
at the head of the horn. Goes through his legs. Scramble on the floor. Loses it. Has a presence of mind to give it to Turner. And that's stolen away by Colvin. We're going the other way. The outlet to Morris. Slam dunk. A bust out to put Miller Grove up 2, 10-8. 3:40 here in the opening quarter. Get a good look at the crowd here at the arena at the Gwinnett Center.
Well,
3:33.
That'll help Miller Grove's offense for sure if they don't have to set up, try to play against that junk defense. Get it out on the break.
Goodwin working against Evans. Now to Turner. Turner working against Houston. Looking for the entry pass to Goodwin. Nowhere to go, spins, goes down low, and the dunk right there to Ravion Bell.
Great look by Shaq Goodwin right there. Drew the double team and did the right thing. Dropped it down to his teammate.
Tied at 10. Colvin walks it over to Morris. Dribbles between his legs again. Southwest DeKalb in that zone. They go down low to Parker against Goodwin, and we have a whistle.
Well, they're going to get Shaq for reaching in. Good aggressive defense. It's going to be a timeout called by Coach White, I believe.
Timeout with the score. 10-all here on the 4A state championship. Brandon Morris with the flush. We'll be right back after these very important messages on the great GPB.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
As a strong, stable bank, we're always looking for opportunities to boost the vitality of our communities by supporting local events and finding financial solutions for our customers in all economic times. Regions is proud to be a partner with Georgia Public Broadcasting in building a better Georgia.
As leaders in our communities, Georgia's locally owned and operated electric membership corporations are proud to sponsor the Georgia High School Association and to help our student athletes become the leaders of tomorrow. Georgia's electric membership corporations, lighting the way.
The Atlanta Dream, Atlanta's back-to-back Eastern Conference champions and Atlanta Sports Council's Team of the Year, is back at Phillips Arena on May 25th with 2012 Olympic hopefuls Angel McCoughtry and Lindsey Harding, and Brazilian Olympian Erica de Souza. It's the Dream's 5th anniversary season this summer at Phillips Arena. Ticket information at atlantadream.net or 877-977-7729. Run with the dream.
PBS celebrates the legends of classic country.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
I'm gonna make my brown eyes blue.
Please help me, I'm falling.
All Monday at 7:30 on GPB.
We are Team Continuum.
Team 6.
Team Thrombosis.
Team Heartthrob.
We're going to win the Adventure Prize because
We believe everybody needs it.
our product saves lives.
The Basketball High School Championships on GPB are made possible in part by the Georgia High School Association, which thanks Georgia Farm Bureau for their support.
Through its many programs, the Georgia High School Association is training tomorrow's leaders. At Georgia Farm Bureau, we also promote leadership development programs. Farm Bureau serves its members through a host of services, from insurance to health care to popular discount programs, delivered through your local Farm Bureau office.
Farm Bureau, benefiting your community and state. Helping you is what we do best.
Back here in Duluth, our score 10-all between Southwest Dekalb and Miller Grove. Georgia Tech Wits kids have teamed up to compete for cash and a U.S. patent with the 2012 Adventure Prize at Georgia Tech. Tune into GPB Tuesday, March 13th at 7 o'clock to see these 6 finalists demonstrate and defend their innovations in front of a panel of expert judges to see who will be this year's champion. Wowzers. That's something you can't miss only on the great GPB. You like adventure stuff? Huh, Herb?
Oh, it's great stuff. Great stuff. Like to see those smart young folks doing well.
Get a look at the Miller Grove huddle. Head coach Sharman White. You see the field goal percentages. Shocking. Or no surprise to you, Herb?
Well, good shooting by both teams. Southwest Dekalb 4 for 7, Miller Grove 4 for 5. And, you know, I'm sure Miller Grove has seen some different defenses this year. Most of them probably meant to stop Tony Parker. But nothing like they've seen so far tonight. But it looks like, okay, they've gone back straight man-to-man now.
Evans only inbound to Houston. He drives and then launches out there 3. That was Justin Colvin. To go no good, and the rebound taken down by Southwest Dekalb, and we go the other way. Turner across the timeline. Top of the key now. 10-all. 2:29 in the opening quarter. That's Shaq Goodwin over to Price. Driving, cut off. Goes inside, and the ball intended over there for number 24, Ravion Bell, is out of bounds. A turnover, 3rd turnover right now for Southwest Dekalb early on.
I think Ravion was looking for the shot then, wasn't looking for the pass.
Justin Colvin walks it across the timeline. Over on the right side to Brandon Morris. Morris stops, looks over, goes down low, and negotiating low is Evans off glass. 12-10 now. The Wolverines up by 2 over the Panthers in Southwest Dekalb. Turner. Yes, go ahead, Herb.
I was just saying that defense is going to leave a lot of driving room when you're pulling one man that far away from the basket every time. It opens the floor up for Southwest, for Miller Grove to take it to the basket.
Price tried to double clutch, and Tony Parker was there. Take a look at this on Tony Parker, and you see Evans going down the baseline. Always tough to guard a southpaw. Look at the move against Shaq Goodwin, and calls glass, and he gets it. Southwest Dekalb still with the basketball. Turner looking down low on the block is Goodwin. Gives it back to Turner, 2-man game. Curls up, a 10-footer, no good. Rebound taken down by Colvin and Miller Grove. We're going the other way across the timeline. Defending there by Southwest Dekalb, who immediately get back into that zone. Morris out top, entry pass into Parker, spinning, and loses it, and we have a whistle.
It's going to be on Shaq, and that'll be his 2nd if it is. Nope.
Take a look. Take us through, Herb. Foul or no foul?
Yeah, he hacked him across the arm. It's a good call.
So Parker will go to the line, and we've talked about it all afternoon long. the matchup between the state's two premier big men. See the senior who's being recruited by Kansas and UCLA, Ohio State, and Duke. And Georgia having a late opportunity, late run, and a lot of people believe that he may hook up with his former, well, not former, soon-to-be former Miller Grove teammate, Brandon Morris, who's committed to Mark Fox. And what about Mark Fox and company getting it done last night, your alma mater? Huh?
I don't know if I'm supposed to say a whole lot about my alma mater, but I'm going to. Yeah, I'm really proud of those guys beating a really good Mississippi State team last night in New Orleans, and they got the work cut out of them with Vanderbilt tonight.
All right, Parker connects. It'll make it a 4-point lead. Our biggest lead early on right here.
Be interesting to see if Shaq Goodwin stays on the same side defensively as Tony Parker now.
Emmanuel Walker now in for Southwest DeKalb. That's Turner. Double team, go to the right side to Price. They look down low to Goodwin against Parker. Back to Turner, drives, pushes up, no good. You get the rebound. Right there was Justin Holloman, and we have a whistle. But you saw the penetration, the ability of Turner to sneak through.
And Miller Grove has gone 2-3 zone now, Gil.
Goodwin will inbound it to Price. Out top, they work it around the horn. And that, driving, is Walker. He misses a shot. The rebound controlled by Miller Grove's Tony Parker. Ahead to Kristen Houston. And a scramble forward, the ball out of bounds. And Southwest DeKalb will regain possession. An 8-2 Miller Grove run. And right now they have a 4-point lead, 14-10. You see about 30 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Turner across the timeline. Goes over to Walker. Walker out top. Miller Grove tucked in that zone. Turner tries to look, goes out for a 3-ball by Walker, and it's air ball and goes out of bounds. Miller Grove will take over. 10 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Miller Grove up 4, 14-10.
Well, Miller Grove's gone with that zone, trying to stop some of that early penetration by Southwest DeKalb, and they did it again. They got the shot they were looking for, just came up short on the 3-pointer there, Gil.
Kyrie Hammer in the ball game. I'm sure that's offense for defense right now. That's Morris over to Hammer. And he's pushed by Price.
Reaching in, not a good foul by Jordan Price out that part of the court.
What a physical specimen on Price, his first of the afternoon. That'll trigger the inbounds by Coven. Coven gets it in. That's Evans who launches a 3. And it's air ball, and then Goodwin hurls an apparent buzzer beater, but goes no way. All right, so let's take a break. The end of one. Miller Grove up 4, 14-10. We'll be right back on a great GPB. The winner gets the 4A title here in the great state of Georgia.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
When you invite a plumber into your home, do you know if they are state certified? Why is that even important to you? Here's why. A state certified plumber cannot misrepresent themselves by telling you that they can do a job only to find out later that they were not qualified. Now you're out of time and money. At Plumber 911, all our plumbers are certified by the state of Georgia. They have more than 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training, plus a background check. Information available at 404-373-9114 or online at plumber911.net.
Regions Bank is proud to sponsor the Directors Cup, a year-long competition encompassing all girls and boys sports in every region and classification throughout Georgia. The winning schools are honored for their sustained and overall athletic achievement. Please join us in celebrating this year's Regions Directors Cup winners, because at Regions Bank, we believe in working together to build better communities.
And by the Mabel Reader Foundation.
We are Team Continuum.
Team 6.
Team Thrombosis.
Team Heartthrob.
Venture Prize because
we believe everybody needs it.
Our product saves lives.
Rock legend Ronnie Spector and John Bowser Bauman bring your favorite rock, pop, and doo-wop memories back to the stage in an all-new My Music PBS special.
Tuesday at 8:30 on GPB.
Back here in Duluth, Gil Tyree along with Herb White, and you see our scores starting the second quarter. Miller Grove, the Wolverines, out by 4, 14-10. And, of course, Shaq Goodwin, the big fella. You see him there in the huddle with Coach McKinney. And we have more on the strategy by Miller Grove. And let's go over to Lindsay Theory to contain the big fella. Lindsay?
Yeah, Coach White very knows that Shaq's at the other end. Obviously, he says that he wants his guys to go right after him. Shaq's got 2 fouls. It's only through the first quarter. They're going to try and get him to get his 3rd right here. And they also want to make sure they're not losing him in the post on the other end. So it's all about Shaq right now on the Miller Grove side. Gil?
All right, Lindsay, thank you. And I want to defer to Herb White right now. Strategy by Char White to go after the big fella and get him out of there.
Well, it's a great strategy if you can do it. I would imagine Coach McKinney, if I was him, I might consider putting Morris down on Parker, although that's about a 100-pound weight difference there. So I don't know. It's a tough call because if they lose Goodwin, they are in trouble. So he's got to play without picking up that 3rd foul.
And, of course, John Nelson and Sean Golden called the women's game. The girls' game, which was won by Miller Grove over Southwest Dekalb, and congratulations go out to the Miller Grove girls basketball team. Game 1 here in Duluth. We're here at Game 2, and right now Miller Grove out by 4, 14-10, 7:54 to go until halftime.
Now they've gone to a conventional 2-3. I'd be fronting Tony Parker as much as I could so Shaq wouldn't have to play right up on him from behind.
The aforementioned Parker with the miss in the middle on the jump hook. Southwest Dekalb running. After the rebound, Turner struggles with it, and they spot for the foul, and that looked like Christian Houston on the foul on the reach-in. His first. 7:37 here in the second quarter of a 4A state championship game between Miller Grove and Southwest Dekalb. Gil Tyree and Herb White. 3-pointer to go by Price. It's good.
Oh, we told you he can do it all. That was about 2 feet beyond the 3-point line with no problem by Price.
The Panthers now within 1. Houston walks it across the timeline over on the left side to Morris. They dump down into Evans. They look for Parker, and it's stolen. A turnover. The other way goes Turner. The acrobatic move, no good. The rebound taken up strong and good by Howard.
Well, not so much a steal on that play as a gift from Miller Grove. They had Tony Parker in the middle and just lobbed it over his head.
Southwest Dekalb with a lead by 1, 15-14. Second quarter, still packed in that zone. Morris over on the right side to Houston. They look for Colvin, back to Houston, to Morris. Excellent ball movement. They look for Evans down low, and the ball was stripped by Price out of bounds, so Miller Grove will regain possession.
Well, Brandon Miller Morris with the good look. Unfortunately, the receiver wasn't watching.
Colvin on the inbounds to Morris. Back to Colvin. Spots up a 3-ball. Count it. 17-15. Back and forth. To and fro. Miller Grove and Southwest Dekalb. That's Turner. On the right side and launching a 3-ball there. Was Price no good? The rebound fought for and controlled by Miller Grove. Pushing it ahead and driving and losing the basketball was Tony Parker. And playing out of control was Price, and we're going the other way. That's Houston to Parker. In transition.
Didn't see anybody step in to draw the charge on that one, Gil.
8 points for Tony Parker, 19-15. Tell me somebody in major college basketball is going to love that. The big fella running the floor. Price the entry pass to Goodwin, and we have a whistle. Thank you very much, Herb White.
Yep, clear path to the basket by Tony Parker. Nobody wants to even try to mess with that one.
In your face, right in the living room. Excellent shots by our cameraman here at the arena at the Gwinnett Center. 19-15. Glad to have you with us here on GPB.
Gil, Southwest Cab's got to get Shaq Goodwin more involved in the offense. They tried right then, but they need to get him off a little bit. He really hasn't been much of a factor so far on the offensive end.
Kenneth Lewis almost lost the inbounds. At Shaq Goodwin, spot up, no good. Price with the rebound, throws it up, and it does not go. But it would have been an N1 if he counted, but a great rebound by Price to go over the top and get it and have the presence of mind to put it up, but he was fouled. Let's take a look at the replay. Herb White. That's 2 on Houston. His second foul on the reach-in.
Well, a moment ago, Shaq got the ball one-on-one with Tony, but he elected just to throw up about a 14-foot jump shot. I'd like to see him be a little more aggressive if he gets one-on-one with Tony. There you go.
And Shaq going up against Parker. Tip up, no good. Shaq there again to clean up. It's good.
That's what they need out of him, Gil.
Working the glass. 19-18 now. 5:23 until halftime. A Gooden here in Duluth. Southwest DeKalb continue play that zone, and they force a steal.
Gravion Bell just came in the ball game.
And that's Lewis, and it was rejected. We go the other way. Morris at the point. Over to Houston. Spots up for a 3-ball. Count it. Count it. Back and forth. Turner to the glass. Whoa.
Somebody's got to get back on defense, Gil.
22-20. 4:53 to go here until halftime. What a ball game here on GPB. Houston out top, over the right side to Colvin. Colvin working against Turner. Deep outside is Houston. Over again to Colvin. Spots up for 3-ball. Does not go. Parker with the rebound. Negotiates his way inside. Gets tied up.
Well, Tony got away with a walk then, I believe. They didn't call it. It's going to be Southwest Cab's ball going
on the
other
alternating
way.
Possession.
Miller Grove heating up from the 3-point arc. Gil, they made 2 in a row and just missed that one.
Take a look at the replay, Herb White. Tell us what we see.
Well, he shuffled those feet right then, and they didn't call it, but it ends up justice prevails as Southwest DeKalb gets the ball.
Turner over to Shaq, who takes a 3-ball, no good. Ill-advised shot. That's Houston. Drive in the lane from Miller Grove. Up to the big guy. Slam dunk. Tony Parker.
Not a lot of difference in this game, but that's what the difference is. Tony Parker's dunking and Shaq Goodwin's taking a 3.
Tony Parker with 10. 24-20. Miller Grove up by 4. 3:56. We're under 4 here in the second quarter. Goodwin working against Parker. Drives. Throws it up glass. No good. Tips it up. No good. There is a scramble underneath, and Goodwin and Morris go for it, and both go to the floor.
A good hustle play by Shaq Goodwin. Going to the basket. That's what he needs to be doing. Use that leaping ability. Put it up there. Go get it.
Some spirited play here in the 4A state championship game between Miller Grove and Southwest DeKalb. This is a dandy. The big fella saying hello. Welcome to GPB. We'll be right back after these very important messages.
Basketball high school championships on GPB are made possible in part by the Georgia High School Association, which thanks Georgia Farm Bureau for their support.
We strongly believe in training the leaders of tomorrow. That's why we're proud to be part of Georgia High School Association program. Farm Bureau is a nonprofit organization serving our state for nearly 75 years. While we focus on farmers in rural Georgia, our benefits are available to all, from insurance to health programs to popular discount programs.
Georgia Farm Bureau, helping you is what we do best.
Back here in Duluth, and of course we're getting ready for the outstanding high school football season here in 2012. GPB Sports launches another great season of high school football with the Metro PCS Corky Kell Classic, August 25th, live from the Georgia Dome. The Classic is in its 21st year and will be bigger and better than ever. We've added 10 teams and will be televised in high definition across the great state of Georgia beginning at 9 a.m. 5A state champion, the Grayson Rams, and their star defensive lineman, Robert Kimdichi. South Georgia powerhouses, Camden County and Colquitt County. So get ready, football junkies, and tune in to GPB, the great GPB, August 25th, for more than 14 hours of great high school football. I know somebody who's going to be at the end of the chair, one of her wife.
Oh, yeah, love high school football. I like all high school sports. Starting off the season in the Dome and ending in the Dome with the championships. It doesn't get any better than that, Gil. And on that last replay, we didn't have a chance to point it out, but Shaq Goodwin was in the area with Tony Parker there, but he wisely backed off and let him dunk, and Miller Grove's doing exactly what they need to do. With Shaq with 2 fouls, they're taking it down and letting Tony have his way inside.
Take a look at the Tony Parker package, and what is he able to do? Tell us about it, Herb.
Well, he's able to do everything. He hasn't shot his jump shot yet tonight, really, because no need to. Southwest DeKalb has not found a way to stop him inside. So with 2 fouls on Shaq Goodwin, they're doing the exact right thing. Just let him take his way inside. Good shooting in the second half for Miller Grove. Very efficient, 4 out of 7, in the second quarter. Southwest DeKalb actually had 12 shots, made 5 of them. They're getting more shots, but they're not getting them down. Some questionable shots by Southwest DeKalb, actually.
No doubt about it. And, of course, you look at these resumes up top and how they got here. But, Miller Grove had that they played that very tough schedule on national TV a lot. And you took at Southwest DeKalb, and talking to Coach McKinney, he said, we were dead and buried in December. We were really struggling, and boy, we turned it around. And you look at both of these teams here in the championship right now for the great state of Georgia.
Now look
at Morris to his buddy Tony Parker on the slam.
I told you, Morris is very crafty, 6'8" player with the long arms. Just reached right around Shaq Goodwin, delivered it to Tony Parker. And you're right, Southwest DeKalb was 6-7 starting this season. They had a gut check, as the coach said at Christmas.
Parker with 12, and the Wolverines up 6.
A little bit of a gut check
that
right
zone,
here.
right. Price looking for Turner, driving. Turner, the little guard, looks down low, and the jump hook by Bell was no good. But Shaq Goodwin was there to get the rebound and tap it up and in. The Miller Grove leading out 4. Under 3 until halftime. And, of course, Mark Harmon and Jackie Britton getting you ready for the Hoopaholics here on the great GPB today. Morris out of control. Ball stolen away by Justin Holloman. Holloman to Turner. Turner working against Houston. Now Houston over to Price. They played a 2-man game. Over to Holloman. Holloman working against Morris. Looks down low to Price on the cut. Turn around. Up and stuck. Up and stuck.
Well,
so the ball will go over to
Southwest DeKalb's going to keep it as on the possession arrow.
Right.
It's a jump ball, but a little bit of a questionable shot there. Price jumping up in there and spinning around to take that short jump shot. Don't believe he had to do that.
Holloman on the inbounds to Shaq Goodwin. Over to Price to Holloman. Spot up 3. Count it.
Now that's a good look. Wide open. Didn't force anything. Tight.
Yeah,
tight ball game. 1 point, just what we were expecting, Gil.
Exactly, 26-25. Miller Grove out in front. Morris walks it over to Colvin. And again, Southwest DeKalb playing that matchup zone. Under 2 here. That's Colvin setting up the offense. The bounce pass down low to Morris, who's double teamed. Backed out top to Colvin. To Parker, spinning. And hangs and scores. He didn't have that move last year, Herb White.
No, he didn't. He was carrying a little extra weight last year. He's very light on his feet now. That was a sweet touch there. And again, Shaq Goodwin had to back off just a little bit.
Tony Parker with 14, 8 in this quarter. Lighting it up big time, showing why he's a 5-star recruit and one of the most sought-after basketball players in the country. The wild shot right there by Price, no good. The outlet to Evans. Down to Colvin, who backs it out, then changes his mind, drives. So here's an up and in. Nice move by Colvin. Very heady basketball move by Colvin.
And bad defense by Southwest DeKalb. They had 4-on-2 defensively and let Colvin take it to the rack.
And taking it to the rack was Turner, and he'll get the N1. Kadarius Turner, who is a gamer.
He's the heart and soul of this team, the coach says. And Kadarius in the 7th grade was playing with Shaq and Jordan, and he looked around and he said, hey, we're going to be some pretty good ball players one of these days.
Exactly.
He kind of had a premonition, and he was right.
And all those kids played at Chapel Hill Middle School, played together, and learned how to play the game. That's Houston with the rebound off the missed free throw by Turner to Colvin. 18-footer, no good. That's Houston with the rebound. To Morris, gets down low. The shot is blocked out of bounds by Ravion Bell. Take a look at the block, Herb White.
Nice timing. And Shaq Goodwin showing a little bit of weariness. He's breathing pretty hard. He's been in this whole game having to go up against Big T.
Off the cut, that's Colvin, the miss. Shaq was nowhere to be found, but Tony Parker was there to get it and slams it home.
Well, Shaq was lucky he didn't get his third foul, and he knocked down the jump shooter.
Box out move, 32-27. Under 15 seconds to go. Speaking of Shaq, double teamed by Parker. Still with the basketball is Shaq Goodwin, working hard and gets it in. 32-29. Ahead of the pack is Colvin, drives around. Shaq Goodwin throws it up in, no good. And the follow-up by Houston is no good. And that, they're asking for a goaltend call, but they won't get it. But that will come to the end of the first half with the score. Miller Grove 32 and Southwest DeKalb 29. Let's go to Lindsay Theory standing by with Sharman White. Lindsay.
All right, Coach Story, the first half has to be Tony Parker living up to his billing tonight.
Yeah, he's playing well. We're getting the ball in good spots to him, and he's doing a good job of making sure that he finishes the play. And he's doing a good job just playing within his game and doing what he's done all his career here at Miller Grove.
Trading baskets here for the most part of the first half. How do you guys pull ahead in the second?
We've got to do a better job on the defensive side of boxing out and getting more rebounds. I think they're killing us with the second shots. We're getting them to take shots that we want them to take, but we're just not doing a good job of rebounding. We're just doing a bad job of rebounding. And if we do that, I think I like our chances in the second half.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.
Mark, let's go over to you on the set.
Lindsay, thanks so much. We are at halftime of the boys 4A state championship game between Miller Grove and Southwest DeKalb. Miller Grove ahead 32-29 at the break. Coming up at halftime, we will talk to both principals. We'll also find out what fans have been talking about online. Plus, we'll have first half highlights and stats. All that and more coming up on our GPB Championship Weekend show right here on GPB.
GPB's broadcast of high school championship basketball is made possible in part by supporters of the Georgia High School Association, including the following.
More heart.
More drive. More will.
More guts.
More sweat.
More dedication.
More practice. More control.
More clutch.
More hard work.
More fun.
More family.
More love.
More basketball.
Baseball.
College tennis.
More every day.
More everything. More
to come.
More Wilson.
It was as if they were invisible. It was as if their remarkable accomplishments didn't matter. It was as if they were ghosts. During the last years of Jim Crow, some of Georgia's greatest athletes performed on a separate but not equal playing field. NBA great, Walt Frazier.
I remember we used to eat at some certain people's houses that would serve us food because obviously we couldn't go to the restaurants.
Help us bring this previously untold story out of the shadows, the great athletes and coaches who blazed the trail.
And a lot of those guys were good men. They did a lot in the neighborhood. They gave back. So they really set a good example for me.
To find out how you can champion this project, please go to gpb.org/ghost.
Rock legend Ronnie Spector and John Bowser Bauman bring your favorite rock, pop, and doo-wop memories back to the stage in an all-new My Music PBS special.
Tuesday at 8:30 on GPB.
Welcome back. We are at halftime of the boys 4A state championship game here on championship weekend on GPB. Right now it's Miller Grove leading Southwest DeKalb 32-29. This has been a barn burner, lots of great highlights, and we'll show you those coming up a little bit later. We welcome into the program right now the principal of Southwest DeKalb High School, Angela Bethea. Thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you.
And you were telling me that you're a grad of Southwest DeKalb, and now you're the principal.
Yes, class of 1989 from Southwest DeKalb High School.
Well, I wasn't asking for your age there or anything. But what's it been like at school this week with both the boys and the girls team making the state championship games?
Our school has a lot of spirit, so everybody was excited about both of the teams making it to the finals today. We were excited just to be chosen for the Elite Eight, but to make it to the finals, both the boys and the girls, was just phenomenal. So we were in celebration mode, and we were just hoping for the best tonight.
Now, Angela, you came on during our Football Fridays in Georgia when we did a question from the Georgia graduation test. We have another question for you today, and it's know your exotic breed of dog. And so you've got to tell us about which is the exotic breed. Now, that dog has been bred to be fiercely protective and confident. It has a thick white coat that helps the dog blend in with the sheep because it is a flock protector. So is it A, B, or C, that breed of dog?
I have no idea, but I'm going to choose C, Commodore.
You are correct.
Oh, wow.
It looks more like a mop to me,
yes,
but
to
you
me
are right.
Also.
That is a Commodore, so way to go. You know your exotic breed of dog.
Thank you.
All right. Time now to go over to Jackie Britton and check in with what folks are talking about, chatting about on the World Wide Web. Jackie?
Thanks, Mark. Hi, everyone. I will be your social media correspondent throughout today's championship coverage, and we want you guys to keep chatting with us online at gpb.org/sports. We're going to have it streaming live all day long. Chime in. Tell me who your favorite players are. Tell me who you think is going to win the matchup today. We've got that covered for you. Now, also, don't forget to cast your vote on our online poll. The question is about the AJC dunk contest. We want to hear from you. Do you think the AJC dunk contest is really just a popularity contest, or are the winners accurately judged solely on performance? Right now, still a whopping 71% of you say it's just a popularity contest. All right, now stay in your seats because we will have the dunking exhibition coming up here on GPB at the 5A boys game during halftime. So be sure and catch all of that action. Mark, right now we'll send it back over to you.
All right, Jackie, thanks so much. Time now to welcome into the program the principal from Miller Grove High School, Matthew Priester. And Matthew, we talked to you before. You guys have a state championship now. The girls won. What's going on in the fan base over there in the stands?
Giving credit to the coaches and the players. The journey was long and hard. I think it is their first championship this school for the existence of the program. The fans are excited. We're just happy to be here. Giving credit to the Southwest DeKalb girls. They are reigning champions from previous years. They have 3 state championships under their belt, so they were a very worthy opponent, and they were test-worthy for our program, and we appreciate them.
What would it mean to you as principal and to the student body to pull off the daily double, to win the boys and the girls state championships tonight?
It'll be sweet. It will be sweet. It will be good for the school, the morale, the spirit, the program as a whole. And, if we continue to play hard, I think we'll be able to do that. And, again, Southwest DeKalb is a worthy opponent, and we're going to have to work hard and play persistent if we want to win this game.
All right, it's 32-29 right now, and time now to play Do You Know Your Exotic Breed of Dog? So we've got this looking up for you, and your clues are it's known for its distinctive wrinkly features, its blue-black tongue, and it comes from China. Is that A, B, or C?
Got the last question wrong. I'm going to say A.
A, Shar-Pei? You're right.
All right.
You know your exotic breed of dog. Way to go. All right, good luck in the second half. We'll see what happens. 32-29 right now. Miller Grove is leading in the boys class 4A state championship. We'll be back with more on our GPB halftime show right after this timeout. Stay with us. It's great. Thank you very much.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
The Atlanta Dream, Atlanta's back-to-back Eastern Conference champions and Atlanta Sports Council's Team of the Year, is back at Phillips Arena on May 25th with 2012 Olympic hopefuls Angel McCoughtry and Lindsey Harding and Brazilian Olympian Erica de Souza. It's the Dream's 5th anniversary season this summer at Phillips Arena. Ticket information at atlantadream.net or 877-977-7729. Run with the Dream.
As leaders in our communities, Georgia's locally owned and operated electric membership corporations are proud to sponsor the Georgia High School Association and to help our student athletes become the leaders of tomorrow. Georgia's electric membership corporations, lighting the way.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come.
Class 2A state championship. Where are you going?
I'm going back to high school.
Your dreams come
The basketball high school championships on GPB are made possible in part by the Georgia High School Association, which thanks Georgia Farm Bureau for their support.
Through its many programs, the Georgia High School Association is training tomorrow's leaders. At Georgia Farm Bureau, we also promote leadership development programs. Farm Bureau serves its members through a host of services, from insurance to health care to popular discount programs, delivered through your local Farm Bureau office.
Farm Bureau, benefiting your community and state. Helping you is what we do best.
You're watching GPB, television worth sharing.
We are getting ready for the second half of the boys 4A state championship here on GPB. Miller Grove and Southwest DeKalb. Time now to send it back over to the broadcast booth. Gil Tyree and Herb White. Guys?
All right, Mark, thank you. And we take a look at the halftime right now, Herb White. And, we take a look at the highlights. Been all about Tony Parker from Miller Grove. 16 points. He's right about at his season average. And you take a look at early on.
Well, there was Jordan Price driving the baseline. Jordan Price again with the banker from out front. Didn't call it, but he got it to go down. Jack Goodwin, and this is where Southwest DeKalb is staying in this ball game, is on the offensive board.
And you're going to see Evans, who I think is a wonderful athlete, and then the bust out to Parker. And then Parker again. And like I said, 16 points right at his average right now. And then the spin off glass. Let's go over now to our Lindsay Theory standing by with WD's Dwayne McKinney. All yours, Lindsay.
Coach, changing up your defensive schemes a little bit. Can you talk about why you started with a different defense?
Well, I know that the little point guard is the heart and soul of that basketball team, and we feel like if we can take him out of the game, we'll be in a good situation. We have to do a better job of rebounding the basketball. We're getting the looks that we want from them, but we have to rebound the basketball in the second half.
How do you stop Tony Parker?
There's no stopping this kid. He's a McDonald's All-American.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay, and thank you, Coach McKinney. Take a look at the stats right now. What jumps out at you, Herb White?
Well, Southwest DeKalb again is getting a lot of shots because of their offensive rebounding. That's not the free throws you see on your screen there. I imagine that is the field goals for each team. So, yeah. That's backwards on the free throws and field goals. So you see that not many free throws by either team, just four apiece. So the referees are letting them play. And of course, we did see Shaq Goodwin picked up his second foul, but he managed to play the rest of that half without picking up his third foul. He was lucky because he almost got one right at the end. So that bait's good for Southwest DeKalb. But they've got to find a way. I think maybe trying to front Tony Parker with somebody, maybe Shaq in front of him and somebody else behind. Might work, but of course Miller Grove has seen it all this year with people trying to stop him, so it's very difficult.
No question about it, and our outstanding statistician Kevin Barnes tells us that Miller Grove hit 1 out of their last 6. Southwest DeKalb hits 2 out of their last 7. But, I want to piggyback on what you said about the fact that the lack of free throws in this basketball game. You had talked about it at halftime, and you said, Gil, I'm very surprised at this.
Yeah, well, I was expecting a little more of a slow-down game and a little more packet inside where you might see some more free throws, but that's great. Let them play. Let the athletes decide it, and we're starting another great ball game in the second half right now.
Kristen Houston over to Colvin, back to Morris, down low to Evans, who struggles with it, and they get Turner on the reach. But you heard Coach McKinney talk to our Lindsay Theory about the ability of Kristen Houston to be able to do what he's been able to do, and that's control tempo and pretty much dictate how Miller Grove is going to play. And thus, Miller Grove up by 3, 32-29, start of the third quarter here. That is Houston. Over to Morris, working against Price. Cross court to Colvin. The entry pass to Parker, who struggles with it and partially blocked and pushed down. And it looks like they got number 2. Shaq Goodwin on the foul. Take a look at the replay, Herb White.
Well, you can't come down that hard on the offensive player. They're going to call it just about every time.
And that's Goodwin's 3rd. And Tony Parker will go to the line to increase his game total right now. Game high 16. He can add on to that. First one, no good.
Well, Shaq was trying to three-quarter Tony in the low post right then, and I think that's the way they have to play him, but you got to get some offside help. They got no offside help, and when Tony got the edge, he just took it to the basket. So you got to have somebody coming from the offside to give you a hand there.
Parker, the senior, and of course a wonderful interview we did with him on the GPB Sports blog. You can go on to www.gpb.org. He and Sharman White talk about what it would mean to the school to win a 4th championship. And right now they are about a quarter away and up by 4. And they get the turnover. That's Morris ahead, but it's blocked by Turner. We're going the other way, the Panthers. 2-on-1. Turner to the rack. Lays it up. No good. Partially blocked. Shaq Goodwin with it. Up and in and count.
Well, that's where Shaq's doing his damage. You got to give him credit. He's staying on the backboards and getting the stick back. Thought Turner might throw the lob on that 2-on-1 break. That's what I'd have done.
Look at the acceleration by Turner. Just could not get enough over, but the big fella is there to clean it up. Number 2 on the line with the chance to complete a 3-point play, and he does that. And right now, the Panthers have drawn within 1. 7:04 in the 3rd quarter.
Well, let's watch and see now if they go back to Tony Parker with 3 fouls on Shaq Goodwin. Morris has got to get over and give him some help on Tony Parker.
Houston across the timeline, guarded by Holloman. Still out there. It's Houston over on the right side to Morris. Look inside low to Evans. Back to Holloman. Over to Colvin. Back outside to Houston. Houston over to Morris. Down low, bounce pass stolen away by Southwest Dekalb. Price with it across the timeline. Drives, backs out, goes off glass, and puts it in.
Well, it was a great, put him to sleep with an offensive move. Looked like he was going to back it out of there, Gil, and then he just took it on up to the rack and kissed it softly off the glass.
Price with 12, and with that basket, Southwest Dekalb out with a 1-point lead at 34-33. Houston. Trouble over on Colvin, spots up a 3-ball, and the rebound fought for and pushed out of bounds. And take a look at Price right here, Herb White.
Now watch him. He just had a little hesitation just to make the defense let up for half a second. That's all he needed.
(34-33) and a timeout taken. And you see Coach White over on the sidelines giving Brandon Morris an earful. Let's take a look at the Miller Grove resume. And of course, you see what they've done. An outstanding resume and their accomplishment. 5th Final Four, Herb White. How does that rank? You historian, you?
Well, there's only 2 teams that have won it 4 times, as we talked about earlier, and not many people win it 3. So just a great job by Miller Grove, but it's going to be a while before they decide they're going to win their 4th, because Southwest Dekalb came out in the second half, and they're doing what they need to do.
Got some stats for me, big fella.
Yep, Southwest Dekalb 2 for 3 here in the beginning of the second half. Miller Grove 0 for 2, and they're managed to steal the ball from Tony Parker on that last play.
I'll tell you what, I've been real impressed with Jordan Price, and of course he's headed over to the Plains. We'll go over to Auburn. Play for Coach Barbie. There's Price spotting up again. Off glass and a rebound and going up strong with it is number 4. That's Justin Holloman. And we have a whistle. But you know, you touched on it earlier. You said that Southwest, Dekalb's ability to rebound has kept them in this ball game in terms of, you know, second shot opportunities. And we've seen that all game long thus far.
I think Shaq Goodwin probably has 6 or 7 offensive rebounds himself and probably 3 or 4 stickbacks. So that has kept him in the ball game.
Tony Parker called for the foul. And negotiating 2 is Justin Holloman. And the Panther lead swells to 3. 5:32 to go in the 3rd quarter. That's Colvin. Over to Houston. They go down low and throwing up a shot and going off glass for Miller Grove was Devontae Provost. That'll make it 36-35 now.
Like to see those guys use the glass, especially inside.
Lineup for Miller Grove right now. Provost, Houston, Parker, Evans, and Colvin. And the ball stolen away. They're headed over here. It's rebound and controlled, but out of bounds. And Miller Grove will take over and go the other way.
Need to correct myself, Gil, which I can't do all the time because I do it too much, but I was talking about you had to have Brandon Morris helping out against Shaq a minute ago, and of course Brandon plays on the same team with Shaq, but it's Ravion Bell is on the offside at 6'7", so he needs to pay attention when Shaq Goodwin is fronting down there, Tony, like he is right now.
Holloman in, Holloman out, I should say. Ravion Bell in for Southwest DeKalb. They're going on their way right now. That's Turner, who drives, launches up one, calls glass, and he gets it. The ability of Turner just to go to the rack.
That was a great look by Kadarius right there. Took his time, didn't rush it, kissed it softly off the glass, right off, face up on the basket, which is tough to do.
Houston across the timeline. Over to Colvin, to Houston. Back over to Hammer. Kyrie Hammer in the ball game, I stand corrected. To Parker, spot up jumper from about 14. No good. Shaq Goodwin, the rebound for Southwest DeKalb. We're going the other way. Turner's going to slow it down and back it out. Southwest DeKalb up by 3. Hurry.
Well, if there's a shot you want Tony Parker to take, that 17-footer is the one you do want him to take, Gil.
Turner, the high lob inside to Goodwin. Backing up. Goes down low to Price. Spin move. And we have a whistle and a foul. And the foul is on Colvin. That's his first.
Price is a very aggressive low post player. I like to see him work down there.
It's a timeout with the score. Southwest DeKalb 38, Miller Grove 35. Third quarter action continues here in Duluth. The 4A boys state title game on the line. We'll be right back after these very important messages on the great GPB.
Basketball high school championships on GPB are made possible in part by the Georgia High School Association, which thanks Georgia Farm Bureau for their support.
We strongly believe in training the leaders of tomorrow. That's why we're proud to be part of Georgia High School Association program. Farm Bureau is a nonprofit organization serving our state for nearly 75 years. While we focus on farmers in rural Georgia, our benefits are available to all, from insurance to health programs to popular discount programs.
Georgia Farm Bureau, helping you is what we do best.
It's year 2 of GPB Sports Football Fridays in the great state of Georgia, bigger and better than ever. Kicking off August 31st with the Battle of the Big Chicken, a double portion of high school sports. Action live from McEachern High School and a return of all your Friday night favorites, from Are You Smarter to Rent Check to a preview of high school sports around the great state of Georgia with our very own John Nelson and John's Georgia. From Ringgold to Valdosta, from Savannah to LaGrange, we got you covered all fall long here on Football Fridays only on the great GPB. And I've heard, I saw our good buddy Dave Hunter here. Of course, Dave and I, had the opportunity to work together.
One of the nice guys in the business, or was in the business.
Trey McDaniels, too, and of course we're getting ready for the upcoming season to bring it right here on GPB, and bigger and better. And, there's something to be said, Herb, like you, and like I said, Dave Hunter, don't get enough credit for your passion, and along with Doc Swearingen for what you do, John Nelson as well. I said if there was going to be a Mount Rushmore for high school sports here in the great state of Georgia, you four would be on it. Okay. Because you guys, you bleed it, you talk it, you care about the kids, and our executive producer, and of course Bob Rienza and John Sherrick and I.J. Rosenberg, everybody cares about high school athletics here in the great state of Georgia, and we're so proud.
Well, the great news is we just signed a new 5-year contract with the High School Association, so we're going to be doing this for a long time to come, Gil. And the new blood you guys have brought in the last year or so has really stepped it up and made things even better than they were before, and we appreciate it.
Well, it's a joy, and you're very kind. to say that. And up and in is Price off glass, and that's going to increase the Southwest DeKalb lead to 5 at 40-35. 3:21 here in the third quarter. Miller Grove on the ropes right now. Houston. They're tucked in that zone. Southwest DeKalb. He sees an opening, goes inside to Evans on the jump hook.
Well, smart play by Evans. He saw Shaq Goodwin was going to stay with Tony, so he just took it in the lane himself and laid up the little 4-foot teardrop.
Nice cut by Evans, and that'll make it 40-37. Miller Grove draws within 3. A high lob into the big fella, and he couldn't handle it. Two-man game worked there, trying to work there between Price and Goodwin, and they were not able to negotiate it. Miller Grove across the timeline with the basketball, and that's Houston. Houston on the right side to Morris. Out top, deep out top to Houston, looking for Morris on the alley-oop, but he's not there. And they go baseline on the cut to Morris. And the ball kicked out of bounds, so the Wolverines will regain possession. That's Provost on the inbounds. Provost and Houston, along with Evans, Morris, and Parker from Miller Grove. Spot up 3, no good, an air ball. The rebound controlled by Price.
Numbers.
Headed to Auburn, you're right. 4-on-1. Shaq on the trail, up and in, and good, and counted.
Great job. Go ahead, Gil.
That's the way you run the floor. The big fella followed behind, and like you said, they had numbers of 4-on-1, and they were able to convert. Herb White, take us through.
Here we see it. Watch Jordan Price now. He just stays under control and gives the nice dish. He's got the big guy running. He knows he's going to put it home.
And that's off the break in transition. Look at Price running the break, and the big fella gets rewarded. How about that? The deuce is wild, and he gets an and one. 42 now, 43-37. A 6-point lead by Southwest DeKalb. Dwayne McKinney and company trying to pull the upset here. Morris. That zone giving Miller Grove some problems here.
They're packing it back in there now, almost daring Miller Grove to shoot the 3.
The Panthers right now on a 14-4 run, thanks to our statistician Kevin Barnes. Houston, the dump down to Evans. They back it out to Houston. Over to Colvin. Wants to take a 3, decides better of it. Tries to get down low, goes baseline, and forces one up and in is Evans. They used every bit of that possession.
Smart play by Shaq Goodwin again not to pick up that 4th foul as he let the player go ahead and score. More important to have him in the game, Gil.
Southwest DeKalb's lead now down to 4 at 43-39. Third quarter, under 2 here in Duluth. That's a spot up 3 by Price, no good. And the rebound fought for, taken down by Miller Grove's Colvin. Ahead to Houston. They're pushing it, is Miller Grove. That's Colvin, the dump down to Evans, who does the finger roll, but it doesn't go. And Shaq Goodwin with the rebound. The outlet to Turner. Running the break right now. Over to Price, the trail, drives. Off glass, no good. Parker with the rebound. The outlet to Houston. He got numbers, and a great block by Shaq Goodwin. My goodness.
Well, they may be calling in a flagrant foul. Shaq went up after that one pretty well. It was clean. He hit him. He went after the ball, but I'm afraid that official may have, if they did call that, does that count 2 fouls?
Herb White, take us through, tell our audience what this is all about.
Well, here you go. Shaq going up. That's a clean play. Went up and tried to get the ball. The fans didn't like it. The offensive player was off balance, Gil, and just came down. But see what they're calling here.
That's a 4th on Shaq. One more look. Herb White, tell us.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that play. He just went up, tried to block the ball. Probably too hard. It wasn't smart because that's going to draw the officials' attention, but they're calling the flagrant foul.
The flagrant is called. That'll send Evans to the line. Tony Evans, the first one up and in.
Well, I don't agree with the call, Gil, but, you know, Shaq took a gamble there when he went after it that hard. He knew they're going to have to call that foul, and he went after him so hard, and the player came down off balance that they decided to call the flagrant, and that hurts.
Critical foul, too, because that's his 4th, and he's going to sit. You just saw him go to the bench. Evans again, in and out. And also, Miller Grove will regain possession with an opportunity to cut into that Southwest DeKalb lead some more. 43-40. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter in Duluth. The 4A boys title on the line. That's Houston. Over to Evans. Back out to Houston. Houston for Miller Grove. Goes over on the right side to Morris. To Colvin. It's going to spot up for a three ball and count. And just like that, we are tied at 43 all, under 40 ticks to go in the third quarter. Herb White.
Well, Southwest DeKalb just dared him to shoot that three. They packed it in right in front of Tony, and Colvin said, all right, you're going to give me a free one, I'll take it.
Our fourth tie of what has been a phenomenal basketball game thus far. Bounce pass to Price, working against Morris. Shovel pass in.
And the Southwest DeKalb fans
to Ravion Bell, and the Southwest DeKalb said, call a flagrant on that.
Yeah, that was just as hard to lick right there. And
they're going to meet at the summit, folks.
And I believe they're going to call a flagrant. Unbelievable.
Wow. Evans with the elbow and the forearm on Ravion Bell, and Bell misses the first, and he'll have another opportunity, and the Panthers will also regain possession. Get a shot of Sharman White of Miller Grove. Wow.
Well, you can't blame the officials, Gil, really, because they want to keep control of this game. It's a state championship game, and they don't want it to get out of hand. So, good call, doing it on both ends. And Jordan Price trying to take over the game now for Southwest DeKalb, really becoming aggressive on offense. Made a great play there. Addition to Ravion Bell.
Devontae Provost in for Miller Grove. And that's Bell. Jump hook, no good. And fought for in the rebound, still controlled. The turnaround move off glass, no good. And Bell is there again, and they're going on the floor with it. Just a wild sequence. Holloman had an opportunity. He couldn't connect. Bell tried to go up with it. He couldn't connect. And we're still tied. 43 all, under 3 seconds to go. Well, and the Panthers on the inbounds. Herb White.
There's some of that offensive board work, but they threw up more prayers than the Mormon congregation in about 4 seconds.
Price at the buzzer, no go. So we're locked in at 43 as we move to the fourth and final quarter here. And what's so good in here at the arena at the Gwinnett Center. The 4A title on the line. We'll be right back after these very important messages on the great Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
The Mabel Reader Foundation. The German Consulate in Atlanta, encouraging you to study German and to learn more about our diverse culture with much to discover in 2012. More information about Germany as an environmental leader and other current topics on the web at germany.info/Atlanta.
As a strong, stable bank, we're always looking for opportunities to boost the vitality of our communities by supporting local events and finding financial solutions for our customers in all economic times. Regions is proud to be a partner with Georgia Public Broadcasting in building a better Georgia.
Competing, learning, achieving. Sportsmanship builds character on the field and off. As leaders in our communities, Georgia's locally owned and operated electric membership corporations are proud to sponsor the Georgia High School Association and to help our student athletes become the leaders of tomorrow. Georgia's electric membership corporations, lighting the way.
Welcome back to Chance of a Lifetime. It's the final stage of the game, and it's also time for Jane to choose a door. Help her out. What door should she pick? All right, so Jane, which door did you choose?
I think I'm going to go with door number 2.
Door number... Oh, wait a minute. It looks like it says right here that you never graduated high school, so none of these doors are available to you. That's it for Chance of a Lifetime. We'll see you next time.
We're knotted up here at 43. Southwest DeKalb and Miller Grove at stake, the Class 4A boys title here in the great state of Georgia. And you can join in right now on the GPB Sports Chat during our game. Go to gpb.org and hit the live basketball banner on the top of the screen. Jump in with thousands of other high school basketball fans, not only in the great state of Georgia, but the United States and worldwide, and chat about your favorite high school basketball team. Let's hear from you, Georgia. Let's hear from the United States, and let's hear from the world. You know, since Shaq Goodwin went out with foul trouble, Herb White, the guy who has carried it is the Auburn-bound Jordan Price, and they're going to need number one to step up huge here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you could see right away Jordan Price decided he was going to have to take it on his shoulders, and a game of runs here in the second half. Southwest DeKalb came out, decided they're going to establish a little dominance. Miller Grove has gotten back into it, and it's just what we expected, Gil.
You see number one, and he's launching three balls all over the place.
And I'm looking for Shaq to come back in between 5 and 6 minutes to go in this one.
Back to live action. You see a stumbling, bumbling Tony Parker off balance, and the foul right there was on the aforementioned Jordan Price. And like I said, very impressed with this young man. Headed over to Auburn, being part of that great program being assembled over there by Coach Barvey. And what a job he's done.
Well, we'll see another Shaq going to Auburn in the next ball game. Shaq Johnson, probably the best leaper maybe in the history of the state of Georgia high school basketball.
First opportunity and second opportunity missed by Parker. The ball fought for out of bounds. And Morris was fighting for it. Turner was over there, but they'll give it to Southwest DeKalb. How long do you keep Shaq on the bench, Shaq Goodwin?
I'm saying I'm looking for him to come back in between 5 and 6 minutes to go. It just depends on what happens in the next minute or so.
All right, if you just joined us, Shaq Goodwin, the outstanding big man for Southwest DeKalb, has been saddled with foul trouble right now at 4. And he's going to sit. Coach McKinney has him on the bench right now. Game's tied up at 43 all, 7:23 to go in the final period here. Price over the right side, spotting up for a three ball and counting it right there is Justin Holloman.
Give Jordan Price the dime. Great assist.
Holloman with 10. 46-43 the Panthers. Trying to get a historic first championship. First time they've been in the state title game. Southwest DeKalb. Morris over on the right side to Houston. Over on the left side, they swing it to Colvin. Now to Houston. Bounce pass to Morris, looking for Parker, but he is gobbled up by that zone that Southwest DeKalb is playing. Turner forced the turnover, and it was out of bounds off Colvin, so Turner regains possession. Great play by Mr. Turner. I love this kid, Kendarius Turner. And I'll tell you what, he's a major college talent. It's a shame he's going the junior college route. I mean, this kid could play for any program. I love the way he is able to handle things for Coach McKinney, a floor general extension of Coach McKinney out on that floor, working against Houston. You know, we talked about it early on, Herb, that the big men would cancel each other out, and it will be the role players, and that seems to be the way this thing is playing out right now. One in particular, Price driving to the rack, and no good. Offensive foul, a charge.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that call, and Price trying to be a little too aggressive there, but the last time down the floor you saw that Southwest DeKalb. Here we'll see the replay on Price.
Great call. Evans was right there.
Tony Parker did not touch the ball last time down the floor for Miller Grove, and Southwest DeKalb is really fronting him down low when he comes across.
And credit that zone that Herb has talked about. Southwest DeKalb able to play all afternoon long. Steal by Turner off of Colvin, who wasn't paying attention. Drives to the rack. Oh, he missed it. And following up, no good is Holloman. Turner with it. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man, how did that come out of there? A lot of iron, and it just dropped back off, but a great play by Kendarius Turner.
Take a look at this. Turner to steal. Colvin on the angle. And you see Holloman getting right in there and trying to get the stick back, but to no avail.
Well, you got to try to get your feet under you. Holloman tried to rush that one back up there. Should have taken a little more time, but boy, what a play by Kendarius Turner. Again, the heart and soul of this team, and he showed it right there, and they will maintain possession. And the bucket here is big, Gil.
And you see the timeout right now. Miller Grove taking the timeout. Let's take a look at the Southwest DeKalb resume. Herb White, you know the history of this school?
Well, I know it going back into the early 60s and mid-60s as I played against Southwest DeKalb. Always had great athletic teams there. Had great basketball and football and baseball teams in my day, and never been to a final in basketball, men's basketball, so boys basketball. So it's great for them to be here. Of course, Buck Godfrey had all those great football teams, Quincy Carter and those guys back in the 90s. And so it's the 3-time state champs, of course, in girls basketball, and played for the state championship again this afternoon.
Exactly. And, of course, one of our dear friends, Coach Walton, Kathy Walton, one of my faves, I might say. Class act. I mean, every time I go over there, she's always accessible, always willing to go the extra mile, and she cares about her young ladies, and you saw that here today. But they go down to Miller Grove as the Miller Grove ladies get it done.
That was out in the country when I used to play out there at Southwest DeKalb and Panthersville Road.
Herb White, they were listening to you because Shaq is back in the ball game. He's out at the 6-minute mark.
Yep, I said between 5 and 6, and let's see how smart he can play the rest of the way. He certainly can't try to go after a block like he did a few minutes ago. A
Panther turnover, turns it over and gives it to Miller Grove. Across the timeline, playing the 2-man game is Houston and Mars. Houston against Southwest DeKalb playing that zone. Houston will spot up and take a 3-ball and count it. We're going to say, listen, again, we're knotted up again at 46 all right now. Another tie. We were tied at the start of the fourth quarter at 43. We're now tied right now at 46. You see the time on the clock. The pass intended for from Turner to Shaq is knocked out of bounds. And Shaq Goodwin and Evans both went over there, but SWD will regain possession. That's Shaq working baseline and pushed out of bounds.
You're going to say Evans got him?
By Evans. That's Evans' third. And
well, Tony Evans can't believe that one. Thought he played some pretty good defense. He had Shaq out of position up under the basket, but the referee might have bailed him out on that one.
That's Evans' third and Miller Grove's 16th foul. And the free throw numbers are not too good, Herb White.
Well, Shaq's got a good stroke. They're 4 for 10 Southwest DeKalb this evening.
All right, he gets his 13th point. And he'll try again to get it to the 14-point mark for him today and tie this game up again. Or put a 2-point lead. 2-point lead now by Southwest DeKalb, 48-46.
And Shaq's coming out on, they're going to play defense without him. Not a bad move by Coach McKinney over there.
Well, he feels like this zone has given Miller Grove some problems. I'm going to stick with it and then preserve the big fella where I need him most because he's in foul trouble with 4.
Well, let's see if they go to Tony Parker right now.
That's Houston. Over to Colvin, to Parker, spins, hangs. Ball doesn't go. Rebound fought for and controlled. And on the floor for Southwest DeKalb was Ravion Bell, and underneath him was Evans.
And that's what happens when you get a ball stop. That gives opportunity for Shaq Goodwin to get back in the ball game. So just what they wanted.
And off the alternating possession, Southwest DeKalb will take over. 48-46, 5:10 to go. Here in Duluth, Gil Tyree and Herb White. Still to come, the 5A girls championship game. John Nelson and Sean Golden are standing by. We're glad to have you with us here on GPB this afternoon as we move our way into the evening. And we got another great day of high school basketball on the great GPB tomorrow down in Macon. Southwest DeKalb with the basketball. That's Shaq Goodwin out top and being harassed by Evans. And the Panthers call a timeout.
Good job by Coach McKinney there. You could see the Southwest DeKalb was a little lost, didn't know exactly what they wanted to do. Looked like they were going to play a 2-man game with Jordan Price and Shaq. That didn't work. And then Shaq stepped out, and Coach McKinney said, I've seen enough. Let's set something up here.
I'm going to put you in the huddles, both huddles right now. On one side, of course, is Coach McKinney. On the other side, Coach White. What would Herb White say to Coach White? What would he say to Coach McKinney right now?
I think I'd play some zone defense if I was Coach White right now, and if I was Coach McKinney, I believe I'd give my man Jordan Price the ball on the side, try to give him an isolation, see if he can't create something off the dribble.
Wonderful pictures by our great producer, Steve Graham, and this is what they're playing for, folks. You see the trophy. And, of course, after the conclusion of this basketball game, we'll have the trophy presentation by Mark Harmon. And, of course, Doc Swearingen will be running things as we crown the second championship team on this day, on this Friday. And what a day it's been so far. Our first champion was from Miller Grove, the girls, who's going to join them from the 4A boys on the alley-oop intended from Price to Goodwin. And it was knocked away. Turner regains possession for SWD. They lead by 2, 48-46. You see the time on your clock. Turner, stop and go, drives, off glass, partially blocked by Parker. Miller Grove with it. That's Evans ahead. Banks it off, no good, partially blocked. Parker with the rebound, struggles, up and in. We're tied again, 48 all. Under 4 to go, Price stops. Sends it down low for Justin Holloman, and it's knocked out of bounds.
That's a great defensive play by Christian Houston. He saved a bucket there, and I believe Shaq Goodwin got a piece of that shot down on the other end, and Tony Parker stayed with it, though, and knocked it down.
Turner on the inbounds, and he throws it away, almost lost, but regained by Ravion Bell. Ravion Bell over to Turner, to Price, working against Morris, goes up, ball is blocked by Morris on a great defensive play.
Well, they're going to call a foul, though. I think they call him. Morris might have got him with the body.
Herb White, I want to take a look at this and see. And you see the reaction of Coach White. Take a look at this.
Yeah, there was body contact, but it was created by the offensive player. So I'm with Coach White on that one. A little bit of a questionable call, but overall a pretty good job by the officials in this ball game. It's a pretty aggressive game, so they've had their hands full.
The foul's on Evans, his third. Price will go to the line, and he gives Southwest DeKalb the lead at 49-48. Under 4 here. Miller Grove's going to walk it up. That's Brandon Morris, headed to the University of Georgia over on the right side to Holloman. Decides better than taking it outside, goes down low to the big fella Parker. He misses it. With the rebounds, Evans up and in, partially blocked, and no call. And the rebound taken by Goodwin, and we have a whistle.
Well, Shaq Goodwin took a heck of a chance then. Gil came over the back to block that shot. I thought for sure we were going to hear the whistle, but they didn't call it, and now he's going to be going to the free throw line.
But Herb, I can't say it enough. You see the presence of the big fella right there.
Well, he did it without fouling.
I can't say it enough. You called it. You said rebounding was keeping Southwest DeKalb in this basketball game, and we see the presence of Shaq Goodwin when he's there. He misses the free throw. Miller Grove the other way with it. Morris backs it out to Houston. Tried to get that fifth foul when Goodwin wasn't able to do it as he backed into it. Now they go down low to Parker. The ball was blocked by Price, and we have a whistle. Looked like Morris got also poked in the eye on the follow-up, Herb White.
Yeah, pretty good defense there by Price. He needed to slap that ball away from Tony Parker before he could slam it down, and now they're going to have to earn the bucket or the points at the free throw line.
And that foul's on Goodwin, and he's done. He is done for the afternoon, and that's a huge loss.
Oh, man, I didn't see that yet. You're right
they
about
got
that.
him over the top. They didn't call the initial one, but they got him over the top on Morris right there, and he got poked in the eye.
Well, it's going to be a chore now for Southwest DeKalb, but they've got Jordan Price who can score. They've got Kadarius Turner, who's a heck of a competitor, and they've got Ravion Bell, is still 6'7" inside, so they've still got some weapons, but it's going to be on defense where they're going to have their main problems, Gil.
So at the 3:13 mark of this basketball game, William Shaq Goodwin, who you see right there, has fouled out. And Coach McKinney has been able to get around that because Goodwin started out in foul trouble, and that's pretty much been a constant theme throughout this basketball game, Herb. So right now, like you said, the zone has been effective.
Well, they're definitely going to have to stay in the zone. There's no way they can handle Tony Parker without it. And this is where it's going to hurt. Shaq's had a good second half, especially on the boards. But they've been able to score without Shaq doing much scoring through the whole ball game. It's been on defense where they're going to really have to pay the price right now.
So what Southwest DeKalb will do is they'll go small, and inserting into the game right now is Hugh Nurse, who comes in the basketball game, number 55, for Shaq Goodwin. So we go with the lineup right now of Price, Turner, also in the game, Nurse, Ravion Bell, and also over there is Holloman. That's your lineup for Southwest DeKalb. On the line right now is Brandon Morris, the first opportunity up and in. And we're tied right now. That'll make it a 49-49 ball game. This one to give Miller Grove the lead with 3:13 to go. The state championship in 4A on the line here. Great crowd at the arena at the Gwinnett Center.
Well, you got to get good looks now, Gil, every time down, because it's 3 minutes to play, and you know Miller Grove's going to get good looks with Tony Parker inside.
Turner working against Houston. 50-49, Miller Grove out in front. Turner to penetration, stops, pulls up, no good. Morris with the rebound for Miller Grove. Out to Houston, who's going to slow it up and walk it up and kind of jog it up. He's across the timeline right now. Over to Morris, working against Bell. Back out to Houston, over to Morris. 2:31 in this basketball game, Herb.
Well, Southwest DeKalb's going to have to extend that zone now, being down. That's going to open up the middle.
You saw the opening, and Houston able to see it and passing off to Morris, who was fouled, and they'll go to the line again. See the replay, Herb White.
Well, there you see it. Southwest DeKalb had to go out. They're down. They had to go out and extend the zone, and that allowed Christian to take it to the basket. And I got to get it in Jordan Price's hands down on the other end.
Ravion Bell on the foul, his first on the afternoon. The first opportunity by Morris does not connect. And coming in the ball game for Southwest DeKalb is Kenneth Lewis. And he will replace Ravion Bell.
Good timeout by Coach McKinney. He knows he's got to get some points coming down here on the other end. He's going to set up something. So I look for Jordan Price, maybe go one-on-one or try to play a little two-man basketball with a pick high for Jordan Price.
And as Herb talked about earlier, these two teams have battled 3 times this year. All 3 games won by Miller Grove. And we talked about it up top. We had a chance to visit with Coach White, and we discussed that, and he said, Gil, throw it out the window. As you see our Lindsay Theory, who's peeking in over on the Southwest DeKalb sidelines, and of course she's getting the up-to-date information. And what Coach McKinney is going to try to do is strategy as they move forward with 2:22 left in this basketball game, and the Panthers down 1. Herb.
Well, I'm sure Coach White is looking for Southwest DeKalb also to be looking for Jordan Price to try to create something. So they're probably going to be keying on that. Kadarius Turner has had a couple nice drives to the basket, but he's only about 5'8" going in there, and it's awful tough with Tony Parker and Brandon Morris around the hoop. So it's going to be interesting to see after this free throw what occurs.
And of course, Brandon Morris going to the University of Georgia, and many speculate that Tony Parker may follow him. These two are very tight, and Georgia making the last push in the recruiting.
Be still my beating heart.
Well, wouldn't that be a gift for the University of Georgia? Morris fails to negotiate, so the Miller Grove lead stands at 1. Turner goes across the timeline, drives against Houston, forces up a shot, no good. Parker taps it, gets the rebound, and is hacked. He is hacked, and he'll go to the line for 2 opportunities.
Well, Turner took it to the hoop, but it's just a tall order for him to go in there and get those shots to fall amongst those trees. And Jordan Price has just got to assert himself. I know they're going to be looking for him to get the ball, but he's got the size and the strength to go in there and maybe pick up the foul if he doesn't get it to go down.
The foul was on Hugh Nurse, who came in. Coach McKinney brought him in to replace Shaq Goodwin. So Tony Parker on the line.
Unless we upset our jacket friends, yellow jacket friends, Gil, you and I talked about a player they're signing because we've been talking about people going to Auburn and other places. But Marcus Hunt, a guy that impressed both of us, is going to Georgia Tech, and he's a heck of a player.
He is a very, very good player. Miller Grove lead up now by 3, 52-49. Approaching the 2-minute mark.
Got to have points here, Gil.
Turner. That's Price. Stopping and popping. Working against Provost. And we have a whistle as Price goes inside. And a foul. They spot the foul. And that'll be Provost for Miller Grove.
Boy, that's a tall order for Jordan Price because he knows they are keying on him. And they had 3 people coming out and helping.
Correct that. That's not Provost. He tried to, but it's on Colvin. I think they spotted Colvin on the foul. So Brendan Morris leaves the basketball game. And Evans comes in. That may have been on Morris. And he's fouled out.
Well, that's big because
I stand corrected.
Morris is a great creator, and he can find people open. And huge free throws right now.
See the numbers for Jordan Price with 15. And 52-49 right now. Under 2 to go. Miller Grove looking for that 4th consecutive championship. Tony Parker told me, he said, Mr. Tyree, we want to try it. I got everybody a championship as a senior. Now my opportunity to get myself one.
You got to have
they're about a minute 33 away from doing that.
Well, the Southwest Cab need to stop. Not a bad foul, though. They need to get the ball back as well and put them on the free throw line. Minute 33 to go.
And Houston. Christian Houston will be at the line.
Trying to find some percentages on the year, but it doesn't really matter now. At this time of the game, you can throw the percentages out as far as what he's been shooting. Let's see what he can do with all the pressure in the world on him. It's a soft kiss, and it rolls. Well, it's a 2-possession ball game now, Gil.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to go for the 3 when you come down. Southwest DeKalb just needs to come down and get a good look. They need to come away with points, though.
Houston 77% from the line. Second one up and good. That'll make it a 5-point lead right now. 54-49. Minute 28 to go. The Wolverines of Miller Grove. Spot up jumper by Price, no good. The rebound taken down by Parker. They had a wide open Provost. They could have threw a touchdown to him, and he would have laid it up and in. Well, and you kind of sense right now that Miller Grove senses victory.
Well, it's desperation time. Jordan Price is having to try to do it one-on-one on his own, and Tony Parker's just camped under the basket, and he's going to get everything that misses. So it's a real tough situation for Southwest DeKalb.
And if this does come to fruition, it's victory. Miller Grove is going back with 2 championships, 2 state championships. They're going to have that's going to be a really nice assembly. First one up and in by Colvin. That'll make it a 6-point lead right now. 55-49.
Well, now you do think about coming down and maybe taking the 3, even though Southwest DeKalb has not been draining many outside shots tonight, but they've got to score in a hurry, whether it is a 2 or a 3.
Colvin makes his second. It's now 56-49. And Miller Grove leads by 7, 56-49. A minute 18 to go.
Well, the story of this one is Shaq Goodwin in foul trouble, no doubt about it, but you got to credit that to Tony Parker because he creates those things inside, and I know at least 2 of Shaq's fouls came against Tony Parker, but it's tough to play in a high school game that's this physical and this athletic when you got 3 or 4 fouls.
Well, John Nelson and Sean Golden getting ready to call that girls 5A state championship game. Who you liking, Evan?
It's a toss-up for me. How about you?
I like McEachern.
All right.
I thought they got the nice win over Norcross, and one of my buddies, Ken Rodriguez, over at Fox 5, he's a McEachern alum. He said, Gil, make sure you talk about him, so I'll talk about him. They may have an opportunity tonight. That's Turner spotting up. The miss and the rebound controlled by Colvin, and a whistle, and he'll go to the line. And here we go again, a parade to the line.
Well, if they make two here, it'll be about time to collect the hymn books, Millie, because church will be over. But I'm going to tell you what, Gil, this has been a heck of a ball game, and Shaq Goodwin stays in the game. This one goes right down to the wire, no doubt about it.
And like I said, John Nelson and Sean Golden standing by. They will do the 5A girls title game, and then yours truly and Herb White will return for the 5A battle between Savannah and Milton. And that's a tip time, approximate tip time at about 8:45. And we go down to Macon tomorrow, and we kick things off at 11 a.m. Breakfast with the gang from GPB. More hoops as we do our thing here in the great state of Georgia. 57-49. Approaching the minute mark. Price over to Turner. He'll launch a three and gets it. And just like that, SWD calls a timeout as they cut the lead to 5.
Right, it's a two-possession game. You got 57 seconds to go, so stranger things have happened. And a great job there by Jordan Price to find Kadarius Turner in the corner, and a pretty good-looking stroke by the young man. So you're going to try to play some defense tough, as Miller Grove brings the ball up the floor. I say you'd play, 8 or 10 seconds, maybe trying to go for the steal, but you can't wait much longer than that, and then you're going to have to foul.
And also, we want to remind everybody the wheelchair basketball game, the state championship here in the great state of Georgia, will air at 9 a.m. Fletcher, Proctor, and company will be doing that. And, of course, that'll be here on GPB. And a slam dunk will take place. And, I'll tell you what, we got so much stuff going on. We get the job done here at GPB.
Think they let me throw my crutches over the side and get in that wheelchair game?
There you go. GPB Sports Mark Harmon will be at center court during halftime of the 5A boys game with 3 top dunkers in the great state of Georgia who've been voted the best rim rockers in town. You voted online. Now you can see them live in game action with their high flying dunks. It's the GPB Sports AJC Slam contest at halftime of the 5A boys game, part of our exclusive coverage here on GPB. It'll be about a 9:30 p.m. time for that. The inbounds right now, and of course the foul, 57-52. Miller Grove will again, it's been a parade to the free throw line late. And Shaq Goodwin will be in that slam dunk contest. You see the big fella fouled out about at the 3:13 mark, and they've missed him big time. And of course he'll go over to play for one of my dear friends, Josh Pastner. Had a chance to cover Josh when he played at the University of Arizona. And did you know he instructed Mike Bibby how to shoot free throws?
I did not know that, Gil.
That's right. Played for Lute Olson and company. And one of the best recruiters here in the country, and really has gotten that program on track since John Calipari left to go to the University of Kentucky. But that's where Shaq Goodwin will hang out and go for the best years of his life. But he closes out a high school career at Southwest DeKalb. The miss by Houston.
Need the quick three. It's a two-possession game.
There it is. And, of course, Lewis will launch a three. No good. Fought for and up and in almost by Nurse. And over the top was Tony Parker.
Well, they almost got the three the old-fashioned way if he could make the free throw. Nurse, pretty good-looking ball player there. I'm surprised we didn't see some more of him early.
That's Tony Parker, as I'm told by our statistician, Kevin Barnes. That's his third. And Nurse will make the first. And in for the ball game. In the ball game for Southwest DeKalb, Malcolm Battle comes in. And also Emmanuel Walker comes in for Coach McKinney's bunch. Nurse at the line. Second is no good. Rebound controlled by Evans of Miller Grove. Houston is tied up. And a foul was called on the play, so we'll go the other way. And Kristen Houston at the line, a 77% free throw percentage at the line. Will go and try to knock down some more.
Well, I'm sure if you ask Shaq Goodwin if he'd rather win the slam dunk championship or the 4A championship, he'd go with the 4A championship. But doesn't look like it's going to be unless Christian Houston misses a couple. Or
Jordan Price on the foul. Houston first is up and in. That'll make it a 6-point lead. And like Herb said, two possession game. You count in the ability to knock down a three. Another look at Shaq Goodwin, of course, will participate in the slam dunk contest. That was sponsored by GPB and the AJC. You'll see it right here exclusively on the home of high school sports here in the great state of Georgia, Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Well, that's the killer free throw right there.
60-53. Turner across the timeline, spotting up for three ball will be Price, no good. Rebound control. And by Southwest Dekalb, up and in and count it. That's Holloman. And he'll have a chance to make it a three-point play. Well, they're not done yet. Take a look at the replay here, boy.
Holloman going up strong, kissing it off the glass in the same way Southwest Dekalb stayed in this game all night with offensive rebounding. But afraid it's too little too late. But if he makes this, they got to foul right away. It's going to be a long 35 seconds.
It's been long already. Parker with the rebound over to Houston. And he's trapped. Gets it off.
Steal.
And they get a steal, but they get it right back. And then the foul over the top. And it looks like they're going to get Nurse coming over the top of Colvin. And Colvin will go to the line. And like you said, Herb, sometimes these situations late game take an eternity.
Well, there's been all kinds of discussion about how to try to end this by, giving the team the ball out of bounds, or if they don't want to shoot the free throws, and all types of options, but they haven't come up with anything better. So you just have to suffer through the last 30, 40 seconds of ball games like this at the free throw line. But we see a lot of strange things happen all the time.
Colvin up and in. That'll make it 61-55. 28 ticks to go. Colvin with 13 points on the afternoon and early evening. Just a reminder, at the conclusion of this basketball game, we'll have the trophy presentation with Mark Harmon and the Georgia High School Association Executive Director, Dr. Ralph Swearingen, and of course Jackie Britton will be around, and our cast of thousands here. The great people who bring you high school athletics at its best, the great GPB. Falling away for a three. It's Turner, he misses it. They back it out again. They're going to launch another three. And that is no good. The air ball on the attempt by Kenneth Lewis. And another foul. And again, another parade to the charity stripe.
Well, Miller Grove's going to wrap up the girls and boys 4A championship this year, and that's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
And you got to feel bad for Southwest Dekalb getting to both championships, and you also feel bad because it's a senior-laden team, and a lot of these guys, as we were talking about early, Kadarius Turner and Jordan Price, right, and have played together for such a long time and had their sights set on winning a championship, but they've sure given it a good run.
Sherman White tells Renee Breedlove, move over. I'm coming over. I'm going to be part of this championship tour heading to Miller Grove. And they're going to empty the bench right now. And a class move. Tony Parker, the hug with Coach White. And like I said, go online right now at gpb.org to the GPB Sports blog, and you'll see the interview that we did with Coach White and Tony Parker. In fact, Coach White tweeted me last night and tweeted it all out. They talk about their mission of winning a state championship and what it would mean. That's www.gpb.org. Check it out, and I'll go through our GPB Sports blog, and you'll see it right there.
Well, they make history tonight. Only
yes,
the third team in the history of Georgia basketball to win 4 consecutive state championships, and it's even harder these days probably than it used to be with all the great talent in this state.
And a dejected Southwest Dekalb bench they have nothing to be ashamed of. They came and they gave it everything they had, but they just fall short. A 3 ball up and no good. Nurse with the rebound. Is going to back out with the jump hook, and it counts. And that'll be our final basket. And that's the score and how it ends up. 63-57. And let the celebration begin at Miller Grove. The girls get it done, and now the boys. The 4th straight time you see Tony Parker going into Miller Grove Nation. They've accomplished it, and they are in the history books, Herb White.
Yes, they are, and it's been a pleasure to see. I've been involved in every ball game, and Tony Parker's gotten better every year, and Miller Grove, this may be their best team. They played all over the country this year, and that really made them an experienced, seasoned veteran ball club. They probably played 1/3 of their games against some of the best teams in the country.
All that's left for Tony Parker now is where is he going to end up? Will it be Kansas? Will it be UCLA? Will it be Duke? Or will it be Georgia? Or will it be Ohio State? But he's a state champion here this afternoon. They defeat Southwest DeKalb, and you saw it right here on GPB. More from Duluth after these very important messages on GPB. Miller Grove, your Class 4A boys state champions.
GPB's broadcast of high school championship basketball is made possible in part by supporters of the Georgia High School Association, including the following.
More heart.
More drive. More will.
More guts.
More sweat.
More dedication.
More practice. More control.
More clutch.
More hard work.
More fun.
More family.
More love.
More basketball.
Baseball.
College tennis.
More every day.
More everything. More
to come.
More Wilson.
The GHSA Basketball Championships are made possible in part by Regions Bank. It's time to expect more. Georgia's Electric Membership Corporation, lighting the way. And by viewers like you. Thank you. The GHSA would like to thank Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, Verizon Wireless, and Wilson.